Oh, we're starting it off right. Oh, we are starting it off right. I've double clicked, triple clicked. We're starting it off right. Hi, you guys. How are you?
You.
How is everyone?
Oh, I'm getting settled.
Nay, MK, Punksy. How are you guys? Hi, Vanessa. I'm so sorry we were late. Everything I've touched today has turned to broken. Please, let's see. You guys, thank you for being here. And thank you for putting up with the fact that Amelia Sparkles. Thank you. Hot coffee. Aussie True Crime. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm just making sure.
I never know which side to put the microphone on because I don't want to.
I'm just praying my microphone is working. That's all we're doing. Hi, Jen Lou. So good to see you.
And Vanessa and Amanda Carroll. I know, but I have everything out in front of me, and then I was like, "Oh, I know." The mic picks up a lot, and I just feel bad.
No, I think you're okay. No, Amelia. Oh, thank you, Amelia. She said she can hear us fine. Thank you.
Good.
Listen to Lauren. Thank you.
Okay.
Huxley. Oh, for goodness sakes. Thank you so much. That was awful nice and kind of you. How is everyone?
Because she's an awfully kind person.
Incredibly kind person. Hi, Allie. Hi. Welcome in, you guys. Welcome to my bedroom. It's a little bit of a disaster. You have a very narrow view of what's happening. Because if we turn this way, I mean, you can see my dresser. But if we turn this way, you'll see the messy part on the room. So we're trying to keep that shit under wraps, right?
Yeah.
Now I screwed up. I mucked up the works. Sorry. Okay, I'll stop moving. Okay, tonight. So we have a couple things to discuss, and I want to apologize first of all, because we overpromised and we can underdeliver. But there's a really good reason for it, and that won't happen very often. What?
I was like, we may have an alternative solution, but
yes, we definitely. I mean, we always come up with a solution, but for sure. We talked last night, and we had a great live last night. And thank you so much to everyone who joined us. We really appreciate that. And it was so good for me because I learned so much. You know, I always do. I always learn from you guys. Hi, proud mama of two. Oh, grandma. Excuse me. Proud grandma of two. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Dun, 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 dun. over from the Jen Liu. Thank you so much. Living the tribal life here has been graced. Aww. That's very kind, Aries. We appreciate it. Thank you, Jen Liu, for sending us a new friend. We love new friends. So last night we talked about it, and someone said, "Hey, can you guys talk about and maybe show us the video of we're going to say, I hate using the term, but we're going to do the Mallory voting incident where Murdoch inadvertently killed Mallory Beach. They went to the hospital, and it was a really awkward situation, which we are going to talk about tonight. We wanted to show you the video. However, as soon as we got off that live, we were up till about 3 o'clock in the morning, I think, trying to. Hey, the wolf is here.
Oh, watch me, Nene.
Hey, Wolfie. Hey, Wolfie.
Okay.
I added a couple emojis, but I don't think that they worked. But I do have a Wolfie. I do have a Wolfie emoji coming. We have a lot of fun emojis coming. But we were up till about 3 o'clock last night trying to figure out how to show this video. When we realized that HBO owns the video currently, and Connor Cook's lawyer actually was the one that gave it to HBO, and he got in a shit ton of trouble for doing so. Things that we learned along the way. So we actually cannot show this video, but we did come up with a couple different plans for you in an effort to keep our word, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay. So one, we're going to go through, we do have the nurse's testimony. We do have a timeline. We know our shit when it comes to this case, especially the Mallory Beach portion, because that's where we came in. That was going to be our, kind of our little forte. So we sort of studied that immediately when we got on. So we do have a lot of information on the boating accident. In case you didn't know, there was a boating accident. What's up, MK? Thanks for being here. Let's see what Miss Lou. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. Oh, the Madeline McCann.
Yes.
Okay, I need to divert for 1 second. You got Allie Erickson did the most incredible live and has done some work on the Madeline McCann case. And as soon as you're done here and you're done watching Jen Liu, who's going to do her roast and her trial talk tonight at 9 p.m., please go watch Allie Erickson and Alex Erickson's channel and check out that Maddie McCann video. It is so interesting. It is so, so interesting. Switching back, sorry about that. I really wanted to mention that because the pictures that I saw were uncanny. So I can't wait to hear what she has to say about that. I'll be watching you when I go to bed tonight, Allie. So the boating accident. Option one is we're going to go through and we're going to discuss the things and show you what we can without getting in trouble. We're so new. We cannot get in trouble yet. My mouth gets me in enough trouble. I'm not big enough to go against HBO. It can't happen. It just can't happen. I don't have that kind of HBO money. But my partner in true crime had a fabulous, amazing idea. And I'm going to let her spill the beans on that one. So I think maybe this weekend we might do this, depending on the lives and who's doing what. But I loved what she had to offer here. So LFT, take it away, sister friend.
Well, what I was thinking is, because I really want to watch it again with everyone and talk about it. If we all did a watch party together there's an app called Rave, RAVE, and I can I can create a link, and it's totally free to have to use Rave. The only thing you have to have is like your HBO account or an Amazon Prime, like whatever. We can all watch it together, and you can chat in it too. There's a chat that will run, so it'd be just kind of like watching it together on YouTube, but we wouldn't be able to like pause. I think you and I've talked before on it, but we wouldn't really. Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's an option for potentially talking, but we can chat the whole way through it, and we could do a night. We could pick a time that might work for everyone, and whoever has HBO or has their way, an account or something, whatever we watch, we could set up the link, plan it, and we can all watch it together and go through it and chat as we watch it. We just can't do it on YouTube, but we can do it on a legitimate platform,
Wolfie, you're my favorite. Yeah, because it's called pirating, and I don't feel like wearing orange for HBO. Like, it just, we're in the mafia as your underboss, steel dragster. I want to really be impressed. And later we are working together as one family of true crime. I love that.
Thanks so much.
I love that. Welcome to the mafia. Yes. Kate's in it. I mean, we all, Jen, Lou, everybody's working on Murdaugh, like Murdaugh Mafia, man. Where it's at. This case is so deep, and it goes so many layers that this portion of the case is what pulled me in. This Mallory Beach, crazy mama, what's up? Thanks for being here, sister. This portion of the Murdoch case is as tragic as any other portion of it. I can't speak tonight, so sorry, you guys. So I want to make sure you guys, understand that we really did try to show what we could. And again, if you want to do a watch party with us, we will do a watch party, and you can actually speak on there. You can ask questions. We can talk. I'm sure there has to be a way to pause it and talk.
Yeah, I think you can pause it at your own. Like we can all set a time. Like I can send a link and then we do it, but you can pause it if you want. I think along the way, like you can.
Hi, William. Thanks for coming back. Jeez Louise, so soon. I love that for you. Thanks for being here, friend. What's cool about it is we watched a couple of movies together, and it's fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of fun. It's hilarious. It's like a movie night with your friends, but we're actually doing it for educational purposes.
And on that note too, I wanted to say, like, I've got them sitting here right in front of me, but I did drop. We're starting to put the documents and materials in the Facebook group. So if y'all are a member of that, the link, we'll drop it I've got it on my phone. I can drop it, but it's in our community post earlier. And I'm actually sitting here with the March 29th, 2019, the wrongful death lawsuit sitting like right in front of me, and the one from May 6th that mentions Paul specifically. And so we can get all these up if y'all want to see them for reference.
Awesome. And also know that I shut our Facebook group down for a while because it just wasn't like, to be honest with you, it's a lot of work to keep up with. And I don't have a good excuse for you. I'm being real. I'm gonna lay the cards on. I don't have a good excuse for you, but it's open, and we threw some things in last night into the Facebook group. We are currently working on it to improve it, and there will be a ton of information coming. Please be patient with us, and know that.
Jen Lou, thank you.
Jen Lou,
coming in clutch.
As per usual. You can, if you don't have HBO, they have free trials. So what we'll do is we'll try and this will be our job. We want to talk about this portion of the case, the hospital portion of the case, because it's a freaking night. Like, what happened in that hospital was unbelievable. I'm in London, so you can't watch it. Okay. Well, you know what? We're not going to do the HBO thing tonight. Let me stress that we're going to plan a little bit ahead for that, because that is not. I don't want to spring that on you guys and be like, oh, you got to order HBO right now if you don't have it, and then we're gonna plan. Maybe like we'll do this Saturday night. I'll do a poll on our community post, and you guys can tell us what's happening. Totally lost, William. Let me just refresh really quick. Last night we said we were going to show you guys the hospital video for Paul, for the woman Mallory. When Mallory Beach lost her life, the boating accident, we were going to show you the hospital video when Alec comes in. And we're going to talk about that, but we can't actually show the video because we'll get in a lot of trouble. Now, here's the cool thing. If you have HBO and you want to go watch, it's in the first episode, about halfway through. If you want to go
watch, they're like 25-minute mark.
Yeah. But it is in there.
Emily.
Hi, Emily. It is in there, and we do want to talk about what we can right now. And we'll show you what we can. But just know that we're really, it's not on another YouTube channel. We have searched. And it's because it's licensed probably under HBO. So we're gonna desperately try to work this out with you guys, because I think it's an important portion of it. So William, I hope that we filled you in. Anywho, boating accident. Go ahead, love.
Oh, me? No, I agree. I was just going to say it's so important, and it plays a big part of this case. But starting with this part of the hospital, it really gives you an idea of what the state is trying to convey to the jury right now. Like, watch this. This is how they operate, and you'll learn. I think starting with this kind of point, you'll understand part of Alex, and then you'll understand why the boat case is so significant to the position he is in today.
Yes, and that's what we're leading up to. Is Jen Lou? We've talked about this a million gazillion times, 11 billion times. Jen Lou, what's her name? That she worked on the Stephen Smith portion of this case. Go to her channel and watch that Stephen Smith portion. We're going to provide you the Mallory Beach portion of this case. And then I'm not sure, I haven't talked to other creators, but if no one's working on Gloria, we'll handle Gloria's aspect of the case as well. But we did do a pretty big deep dive into Mallory Beach, and so we'll bring you what we can now. Do you want to go over the timeline? Like, you want to start it out?
I was going to say, if you'll bring up the timeline while I left my water sitting on the other table. I'm just going to grab that. But
okay.
Is that okay? I mean, we can show, I mean, we've all seen it, but we can show the doc footage.
I will pull it up right this second. Is 218 the most recent version?
Yes, I think the one that's saved in the drive. Most recent, yes.
Yeah, I got it. Give me one. It's pulling out right now. Things are a little slow here in the on the water version of life. I'm in my own low country here. Okay, now if I can, it'll just finish loading. I can share my screen with you guys. Thank you for the nice compliments. Thought I'd go on screen. Did anyone see the video of the? Yes, did. Okay. So.
Okay.
And then here, if I can find my mouse. Crash.
I forgot how many people were included on the original suit, because the Woods got out of it. I think they did fine.
Mark Tinsley I mean, he sued the underwear off of anyone and everyone who was around. Let me remove.
Ooh, yum.
Any other cheese heads in the chat? Thank you, Allie. Okay, can you see this, or what do I need to do? Okay, I see what you did here. I see what you did here. So here's our timeline. Randy Ward, to be honest with you, I crushed on Tinsley to begin with, and then I was like, you're a lawyer. I don't know if I can hang with you.
Which?
But I don't know. I kind of still, hi, Candy Cane. Don't get in trouble at work. I don't know. I still kind of like him.
I think he's just been through a lot. And if we're going to I think we can kind of side eye most people in this case already. Because, I mean, look at Mike, Gunn up on the stand, acts like, you never really know him. We just had a business relationship, but we all know from their on group text messages and stuff. So I think he's just had it. I think he's been involved with this mess for so long that it's.
There's our Kez chick. How are you?
I don't know. I don't blame him for kind of just getting a little.
He's a little feisty, but
feisty, but
I liked him. So anyway, we're gonna talk. Oh, you talk this. I'm gonna try and pull up pictures as well, if I can.
Oh my gosh, are we for real? I didn't bring it up on my end. Hold on 1 second, because I can't see that from my eyes. Hold on 1 second. Okay. No, but I'll just open it on my side.
Okay.
The actual.
So that. Maybe.
So basically, we all know what happened. So basically, okay, they got together. It really was like a kind of just like a family, like a grill out get together. How it is going just to an oyster roast and whatnot. So they got together, and what they did, they met at the island property on the river house, which is called, they actually call it the island. Well, one over on the creek. So they met over there, and then they piled in the car, obviously, and stopped to get, some beverages and snacks and tobacco. And then they left. And I'm trying to open, I want to say.
Scoring the beer. Hi, Corky.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, granted, those of us who are in the area know too, I'm not condoning, the drinking and driving underage thing, but going over to the oyster roast by boat, even in February with a group in high school with 6 of us, is not unusual. So, because I saw somewhere there was a big debate about that. They're like, why would they be on a boat in that time of year and all this stuff? And I was like, oh my gracious, you're over. I feel like you're overthinking this a little too much.
Well, people who don't grow up on the water do not understand what that's like. So it's a little different. You get your feet wet quicker than you get on the dirt roads, if you will.
Yeah. Harpoolian said, I don't know if they're going to do it. I'm wondering, he's wanted that for a while, but that's really, I think it's pricey, and I don't know if they're going to allow it, but I wonder if they're going to pay for a reenactment. Actually, I think Jim Lou's the one who's talked about that too, because bringing in the big time experts, maybe that's what they'll do. Murdaugh 218.
I don't know. I'm super excited. That's all I can tell you is I'm on the edge of my seat with the defense. I'm ready for it. Let's do it. I want to hear what you have to say. Hi, Peppermint.
Poot is going to bring all the smoke and mirrors this week. They
do take boats to avoid DUIs, but let me tell you something.
You can get boating.
Where I'm from, I grew up on water. The was county sheriff. I almost gave away. Almost ducks. Well. They have lots and lots and lots of boats. Where I'll give you a hint. Michigan. Lots of lakes, lots of boats, lots of registered boats. Sheriff's departments out there are trolling the waters. So DUIs are just as easy to get on the water as they are out of the water. It's just that you probably get them at a younger age, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're definitely out and about on the waterway, especially intercoastal, and then all the, Pamlico and anywhere else around. But they were coming out. I don't know. They just left. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just ate a bite of a rice cake. Okay, they went.
Oh my God, we will get in such trouble. We have anti-chewing people here.
Oh my gosh. Hold on.
Where?
Okay. You can bring it up again because I've got it on my side, but I'll dox myself if we show my version.
I'm coming in. I will get right on. Just start talking and I'll bring it. There it is.
So the guy, we all know it was Connor Cook and his girlfriend, Miley Altman. Obviously, Paul and his girlfriend, Morgan Daughtry. And Mallory Beach and her boyfriend, Anthony. And Anthony and Connor, obviously cousins. They all get together and they leave the island property. How do you pronounce it? Is it Chakesi? I can't ever pronounce the creek. But anyway, they leave the Murdoch's property around 7. I think they've got it on satellite, like 7:07 p.m. And they arrive at the Woods house around 8 o'clock. And they're there, for most of the night. They were just playing cornhole, families, parents, everyone's there. But when it came time to leave, it was after midnight when they decided to leave. And there is some talk. I do know that some people were concerned about them driving, but the Woods who hosted the party, and they were under testimony saying it too, they were not aware of any drinking, but she did. The only reason I think she was going to offer them to let them stay and to come back and get the boat tomorrow because of the weather. She was more concerned about it being cold. It's late and it's really dark. And then I want to say John Marvin asked if why don't y'all just take an Uber, probably for similar reasons, and or just knowing that maybe they shouldn't be in the boat. But regardless, they all left the party. And they remembered they had the boat, their own beer and stuff on the boat. So they were probably, it doesn't matter what they did. So they leave around 12:11. They are taking their boats underway, leaving to head back home. But Paul is at the point where he wants to stop in Buford and get some shots. And if he wanted to stop, they were going to go stop. I think Connor was all on board with it too. But if you watch the video clips, and we all seen it, and we can share that of them when they arrived, they dock at the boats, at the docks in Buford at 12:40. Let's see. The boat arrives. The boat arrives at the day dock for the first time. First of all, they're either already a little tipsy or they're arguing about actually stopping to dock versus not, because they had pull up twice. The first time they come up to the dock for the first time is at 12:39 a.m. And then they kind of push off, and then they pull up back to the dock for the second time at 12:44 a.m. And they tie off at the day dock at 12:46. So it's well after midnight. It's only Connor and Paul that went in and had a drink.
I have the video playing right now.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did. I was just rewatching, and obviously, with the receipts, I love it. He used his mom's credit card too, for the record.
Mom's credit card and his brother's ID.
Now, this is all right. Now, y'all watch him start the way he walks. And someone said, I think there's an altercation that I found the footage that we can't see last night. Is zoomed in more at the top when they start to walk back down to the docks. And you can kind of see, I think it's Connor and Paul talking. Watch his hands. Like they already know he's getting a little, like, when he starts drinking a lot, he can't, his hands, the fingers, everything start to spread and he gets real volatile. And he couldn't, there was an issue with him trying to hold the flashlight, I believe. One of them zooms in.
God, this is
see him over there where they stop, where Paul and them
over here.
Hang back for a minute. Like they're kind of debating. So he's already pretty tipsy. And it's just
he's hammered. Okay. Tipsy was when we left the dock at the family party. Mm-hmm. He's hammered. He's done 2 shots, right?
Mm-hmm. They did
2 shots there. I would have manhandled the boat away from him. Well, I think people are kind of wondering why that didn't happen.
Timmy.
MK, and I think there's a lot of guys like you who would have been like, I'm going to basically beat your ass. Yes. And I'm sure right now where Anthony Cook feels just like, feels that. Whoa, dude, that's so unattractive.
That was frightening. Well, they went in, so they entered Luther's at 12:55. And then Paul orders drinks at 12:59. He orders a shot for himself and one for Connor. Then at 1:05, so then like 5 minutes later, Connor orders another round. So they each order a round for one another. And then they're leaving the bar at 1:07. So this was a pretty quick, stop. And there's just I hate that it happened. But they're back on the boat. And departing the dock, like pushing off at like 1:17. And it does not take long before
2:13 they enter Archer's Creek heading towards the Broad River. Mm-hmm. And the boat slows its speed. Trigger warning, because this is gross to me. Do
you want to share the screen?
Yeah, in 1 second I will. Okay. I'm reading, so I can't do too many things at once. I'm sorry. I will. Hold, please. Then I can't read. Hold on.
No, you keep reading. Keep reading.
Okay. Then Paul returns to the house. Okay, so Paul and his girlfriend, Morgan, lovely, beautiful girl, he decides in his drunken stupor to hit her and spit on her. I have strong feelings about that. I'm trying to keep my shit together with that one. If your mama brought you up right, you know where I'm going with that. But he was a Murdoch, so he got to do whatever the hell he wanted to do. They got into a fight, and I'm trying to look up while I'm doing it.
Anyone who's seen who has seen the HBO documentary already, you can you literally see the boat out there where they're talking about doing the circles and the speeding up and the zigzagging. I mean, they are just.
It was pitch black. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is actually.
I mean, Paul got to the point where he's stripping down, which brings. Yeah. Oh my God! It's not. Maybe that's a thing that they do.
Keeping clothes on is weird.
Maybe that's another thing. It's a Murdoch thing.
So he returns to the boat and he's like playing games. He's like speeding up and going in circles and going around other boats. And again, it's all in the video. And then he hits one of the pilings. And now I'm going to show you. It's alarming how fast he was going. He was going. Now, does anybody know water and how water works? Like when you're on water and you're going 29 miles an hour, that is like your ass is on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like you are going so fast there. There you go.
Yeah. So
that's one of the pilings that they hit. I mean, we were talking
the dolphin piling.
Steel structure, yeah. I mean, against fiberglass, 29 miles an hour is really, really super duper fast. Okay, just keep that in mind. There's Mallory Beach. If you hadn't seen her, she is gorgeous. Trying to find. Here's the boat. So there's your boat. He hit it twice actually. If you're paying it close attention, he hit it dead on and bounced off the side. Is that right, LFT? Do I have that correct?
Well, it's yeah. They hit so far where they're coming up. They hit the dolphin piling first, then they hit the main bridge pile. Like it goes boom, boom, and what happens is once it hits, it banks over to the right side. I believe the boat ends up on the other side of oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have looked up at your picture because I was like, oh my gosh, I was turning. So we're driving, we're going straight. We hit.
They're coming this direction right here towards the bridge.
And they're going to hit
on the opposite side over here, but the boat winds up over here. That's how fast they were going.
And Anthony and Anthony and Mallory flew out and Paul flew out. Everyone else managed to stay on the boat, but Anthony for sure he flew out on the side kind of that they hit on because he had to swim across to come to where the boat was.
Right.
Mallory, she went out when they all did. And Paul, I believe Paul kind of was up a little bit further. I believe Paul was further ahead distance-wise, like north to south between Anthony and Paul. But he didn't, I don't believe he was freaking. I mean, he swam right over.
So the blood is actually from Morgan. She hit her hand.
Yeah.
She cut her hand up pretty bad. So this is actually from Morgan, and this is where they were sitting. They were sitting on the cooler and like the front of the boat here. It was Morgan and Miley sitting in the front of the boat. Paul and Connor were in this captain's seat behind this right here. And then Mallory and her boyfriend were actually sitting on the floor. He was holding her on the floor in the back of the boat when they impact. You can see what it looks like from there. It is blood, and it was Morgan's blood from her hand.
Connor had a broken jaw.
Oh, God bless Connor. He's trying to call 911, and he's got a broken jaw. I mean, unfreaking. And the woman's asking him questions, and he can barely speak. You know, he's all caught up and this broken jaw, and he's trying to give them the best directions that he can. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. There you go. There's the bridge right there.
And the bridge obviously has cameras on it. And so, first of all, I mean, I've hit a bridge before, like even the boom, like when we were on just like, sailing one day from one side to the other. When you're too tall, when you hit, you feel it, like you're going to know. But the bridge has cameras, and the bridge caught this all on camera. And it's startling. I mean, it's startling. You hit. They were flying. He was going so freaking like I'm not laughing. I'm laughing in like astonishment. Like he was going the wake it was kicking up. It's only a 17-foot center console. So it's just even the way the wake of it, the white when it hit, and it's not like it was a real choppy night out there on the intercoastal. They said, I believe they said, support with Steffa that it was
Yes.
blunt force trauma and drowning. That I believe she had hit her head, and she had on like her barber jacket and stuff too. And I just imagine getting thrown in if it's heavier, and I know that was kind of like yuck, nay. So where were we going with that, Tia? What else was I supposed to be saying? You were right. They just hit on their left, they bounced to the right. Like they hit, I think the stern of the boat, it did chip on the same side of the boat. But if you look closely at some of the pictures, you can see where I believe it may have been the stern that hit the dolphin piling, I'm thinking, though, first, because that would have, once it hit, boom. I think that was it. I think the bow hit the dolphin because it would push the bow to the right and the stern to the.
And whoever asked if it was cement the steel encased in cement, the answer is yes. It was. Mm-hmm. I mean, they hit a brick wall, is what they did. They hit a brick wall.
And they had almost hit it earlier in the night already.
Trying to see. Here's, I guess you can kind of see Mallory, but to the right you can see the crime scene. Now, here's the thing. During this time, they're trying to call 911, and 911 has them on Paris Island, which they were close to, but they were actually in Archer's Creek. I was trying to find a picture of his hand that I thought I saved in here. I did not. Okay. Sorry. Let me just take that down. I agree. That boat did hold up exceptionally well. You take day trips from the Stanton down to. Yes. Before darkness because of the stumps. Well, and it doesn't appear as though they had any kind of depth finder or anything like that, because the remark that's made by Mr. Paul Murdoch is nobody knows this river like I do. So when people did try to take over and drive, nobody knew it like he did. It was his boat. This was his, we all get what's happening there. So Connor calls, the boat hits, Connor calls 911. 911 actually sends people to the wrong location. So it takes like 40 minutes for help to actually come, which sucks on so many levels. It sucks. They finally get there at the scene. Let's see, when did they impact? Boat enters. The boat impacts at 2:20. At 2:21, Connor calls 911. Mm-hmm. Ellie begins to arrive at 2:40. And then, okay, that's where we go into the hospital stuff. But one of the interesting things, and we'll go into the hospital stuff next, everyone's taken into the hospital. I can show you some of the, hey, Steph, thanks so much.
Oh, gosh, yes. Hey, Steph, thank you. Oh, I love that.
Thank you, Decoder.
Decoder.
Decoder. Thank you so much. Welcome. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm easily distracted today. I don't know. It's true. Driving the river at night, you have to have driven it many times during the daylight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the St. Croix River. Okay, so right. But a lot of people have depth finders because there's, waters in everywhere, but especially in this location, from what I've learned, rises up to 4 feet and drops 4 feet in a day. Do I have that right? Or was it even more than 4 feet?
I mean, it's kind of just, if you are, I don't know, I'm trying to think of people. It will rise and fall where we are. We'll go if I go, like if I was going in for a quick afternoon ski, you kind of know, like we're in our little inlet area. Like, you know, there's certain places where it just drops. At low tide, like I know I've got to turn before I hit so and so's house or the more like this beach. But I mean, the stuff was on the boat, but they just didn't necessarily need to utilize it all that night. And it was, he does, I mean, I will give it to him. He did know the river, and so did the other people in that boat, or he knows the water. And
but you know it at 29 miles an hour, drunk, naked.
And he'd taken off his shirt. He threatened to fight. Yeah. That's when he took off his shirt before he smacked her.
Yes, but he literally like would get up and walk around the boat while it's like tooling around. Like that's the thing. I mean, we're not talking about like he's driving and he's drunk and Connor's trying. Like he just get up and leave, and everyone was kind of very uncomfortable. Connor was doing the best he could, but I want to stress that Connor was not driving the boat. And I think that's super important that people need to understand. That was the story that they tried to get going from the hospital. And we do have video that we can show it to preempt the other videos of Anthony. But it's also a little bit sad to me to show some of those videos. There's a level of respect that I want to try and keep with Mallory Beach, with anyone who's, anyone who's lost a child. Anthony Connor was literally holding her, trying to save her, trying to comfort her, and she flew out of his arms. And there's police video of him, and we could show it. It's one of those things that I'm like, I get, how I get about this stuff, and I'm sorry. I guess if we want to watch it, we can watch it. That's up to you. LFT.
I would say, I mean, it might be worth watching it just so it speaks enough for itself. That way we don't even have to describe it. Like it's.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the hospital while I try and pull that up really super duper fast?
Oh no, you talk about the hospital and I'll find that for you. How about that? I'm eager. You've been like, she's got all the great stuff about the nurses and everything, and I want her to keep going with it.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So the victims from the crash arrive at the hospital. Connor has a broken jaw, can barely speak. I think Miley was, other than bumped and bruised, I think she was okay. I think bumped and bruised Anthony. Morgan had a hand injury. Okay, thank you, Jen, though. She said it's important to watch. So when you get it, let me know. So they all arrive at the hospital and they're being treated. In the meantime, Paul doesn't call his dad to report to his dad he had an accident. He calls his grandfather. So that tells me already we're leveling up. We're going to the fixer. Grandfather's the fixer. Okay. Dad's clearly not the fixer. There's a level of respect that's not there. And maybe I'm reading too much, but when I found out he called his grandfather over his father, it spoke volumes to me. It really did. I was like, of course you did. Because that's the mean dude. That's the guy. Leveling up, right? That's what he did. He leveled up. He went to the big guy. He had power. So Alec and Randolph, the grandfather, arrive at the hospital about 10 minutes after Paul arrives. Now, Paul is hammered. I mean, shit-faced hammered. And according to witness and statements, Alec he walked in the door and shit started happening. He had an agenda from the word go. I have a hair caught right in my eyeball. I can't get it out. He had an agenda before they walked in. Now, I don't know who had that agenda, but Alec was making moves. He was making money moves. That was his thing. He walked in, never once Not one time did he say, hey, bud, are you okay? To anybody. Oh my God, are you okay? Have your parents been notified? Do you know what he said? No, he said, I'm in charge of I'm responsible for all these kids. Nobody talk. Nobody say a word. And he tries to get in all the kids' rooms. So weird. Like, if my daughter is injured and in a room, I don't give a shit who you are. You're not going in there before I am. Excuse you, little sir, but no. So Randolph kept telling Paul to keep his mouth shut. According to security guard, the statement to the South Carolina DNR, another Randolph seemed angry at Paul and said his grandson was drunk as Cooter Brown. Now, this is from Rudolph, from good old Randolph. Jesus, what's wrong with me today? Saying he's drunk as Cooter Brown and shut up, don't say anything. Alec tries to get in the room, saying he has to tell her what to say. This is Morgan's statement. He was trying to get in Morgan's room. He was trying to get in Miley's room while everyone's giving their statement to the police. Alec is trying to split off in all these different directions, trying to get in there to navigate the story, to narrate the story, to say, oh, Paul wasn't driving. It was Connor driving. He goes into Connor's room and he's like, you were driving, right, bud? Like, he's kind of like leaning in, like, good old boys club, right? This is all going on. Oh, Paul's BAC 0.28. Keep in mind he's underage. 0.28. And this is also now hours after, 3 hours after he was seen taking shots of waterfront, and about an hour and a half after the crash, his blood alcohol was still 0.28. So let's just think about what it was in the water. You know what I mean? Like,
literally when he's strapped, when they have and every one of those people in the boat, yes, should have been at the hospital. That's exactly where they should have been, all 6 of them, after an accident like that. But he was the one that was in there that had been strapped down to his gurney on the way in. And if y'all look at his hands, it is the difference. His whole hands are all spread. It is the wildest thing that I've ever seen. Like, he really was still, you could tell he was very much still intoxicated when he arrived at the hospital.
I am waiting for this to run really quick. And then we're going to look at the video from the Murdaugh Murders podcast. But what I wanted to fill you in on really quick before we did that even is just to tell you some of the statements that the charge nurses said, because I thought this was it was fucking crazy. I really did. Like, I really thought this was crazy. Hang on, I got to switch screens really quick. I'm so sorry. Multitasking is really my jam. I wish we had Bojangles here. Oh, good Lord. This is what the hospital said, and this was their charge nurse. She said Paul had an attitude and was cocky. She noticed Paul was only wearing boxer shorts. So with these people with their clothing.
That's what I said. What is it? Is it like a no pants thing with the Murdaugh? Like, is that weird?
I'm also wondering why his dad said he left clothes all over the state. I don't understand that. I think now I have a better idea, because when Paul got drunk, he just disrobed.
Well, apparently it might be a thing in the family. It might be a thing in the family. It must be a Murdoch thing. I don't know.
Hi, Jane Doe. Paul's father was trying to make contact with other patients. Mm-hmm. She said Paul's father said, I am responsible for all these kids. She said if Paul was belligerent, the security was requested. Now you got to be, listen, nurses are badass. First and foremost, nurses are badass. And they don't call security, at least with the hospitals that I've been to. Like, I have family that are nurses. And they don't call security unless they absolutely positively cannot deal with you anymore. You have ruined their nerves for the day. So then they're like, security. I'm not dealing with this joker anymore. So he says, I'm in charge, belligerent security. He was requested Paul and his father go in and out of Connor Cook's room. They do have pictures of that. She said Paul's father asked where Paul's girlfriend was, or why she said Paul's father asked where Paul's girlfriend was moved. He wanted to talk to her. Connor was eventually transferred. She told security that to keep an eye on Alec because she thought something was up with him. She recalled telling Paul's father multiple times to stay in his room. He kept moving. Now, this one got me. This is the one that got me. She smelled alcohol on Paul's father's breath. Paul's father being Alec. Take that. How did he get to the hospital?
Who?
Alec.
Alec drove. He drove. Yeah.
Just bringing that to everyone's attention there. She heard Alec tell Connor that they were going to figure everything out. Don't worry, buddy. We're going to figure it all out. Don't worry. You can't talk anyway. Oh, Wolfie, gosh darn it. Thank you. You are just the sweetest. Thank you very much. That's so kind of you. She saw Alec Murdoch stop Connor on his way to get a CAT scan. The kid's on a gurney. He's on a gurney. And Alex is like, Doc, hold on. Let me talk to this kid. She heard Alex tell, I just lost my mouse. Hold on a second. She heard Alex tell the South Carolina DNR officer that Paul Murdoch would not be making any statements because he was intoxicated and he did not want Paul to make a drunken statement. She saw Alex speaking with one of the boat crash survivors' parents. She said several hospital staff had to go into Paul's room because he was belligerent, cursing at staff, and being uncooperative. Paul was trying to enter his ex-girlfriend's room and said it was obvious she wanted nothing to do with him or his family. She had said to him on the boat that we are done. Leave me alone. And that's when things got crazy. Security supervisor heard Paul's grandfather tell Paul to shut the fuck up. That's Grandpa. He said, shut the fuck up, kid.
He wanted him out of there. He knew he had to get him out of there. I mean,
they're the fixers.
If that was my client too, not to mention my grandson, not like that, but let's go with a client. Like, no, your thing is you won't, if they're acting like this, no, you get them out.
He was
being, or you get him taken care of as needed and then him out of there.
She felt Paul's grandfather was agitated with Paul, and he smelled alcohol on both Paul and Connor. He described Paul as rowdy. This is the security guard, by the way. Another security guard, this is important, overheard Paul's father on the phone, Alec Murdaugh, saying, she's gone, don't worry about her. Speaking of Mallory and the search.
They didn't even ask about Mallory. They didn't even say. These are people that have connections and resources. They weren't trying to bring in more people to help find, search. Let's get so and so in here. So and so's over there with that boat. I don't even care if he's not law enforcement. Get him over here. They had resources. They didn't do anything. They did not go to. He says he didn't go to this. He calls when he stumbles upon his wife and son, he's certain to use the term scene. I went back and got my shotgun for my safety and brought it back to the scene. He says that. That's the kind of stuff that you do. These people didn't do anything.
Alex is the one who said that. Alex said that to the person that he was on the phone with.
Yes, but it was someone, I think someone did try to ask, but that was the big thing that everyone noticed. It was not at all about, we have someone, there are 5 of us here. There were 6 on a boat. like, we've got to find her. There was no urgency with that, except, no, wait, I lie. Anthony wouldn't leave the scene. He was the last one to leave the scene. He would not leave. He was at the hospital like 45 minutes or an hour later. Because he wouldn't leave. So I misspoke when I said that there were 5 at the hospital at that time, but it's not normal. And if you have the power to do it, you do it in a situation like that helps the entire situation. You covered your liability in your butt.
Because you know what? It was the name that meant something and not another human being. And that really pisses me off. Did Mallory's parents were, I believe, at the scene, which is a whole nother ball of wax there. That's a whole nother thing. Let me finish reading what the nurses said about this Joker. And this, like I said last night, like, Paul is complicated to me because when I talk to him about this, he pisses me off. Then I hear other things and I feel kind of bad for him. But right now, I'm in pissed off mode. I'm in mom, like, pissed off mode. So Paul says he appeared to be the most intoxicated, most belligerent of those involved. She described Paul as one of the most arrogant teenagers to come through the emergency room. One of the most arrogant teenagers to come through. I'm sure they see a lot of damn people. And you hit number 1. Ooh. She says Paul kept saying, y'all should be doing your jobs and looking for my friend. She watched Paul get out of bed and disconnected his monitors at least 3 times. At first, when asked how much he drank, he said he had 5 to 6 beers. Then he said he was drinking and doing drugs all night. She recalled Paul. She recalls Paul making a statement, but then minutes later, he would not remember making that statement. She said Alec and Randolph arrived 10 minutes later, and this is another Buford nurse. He said Paul's girlfriend said she was upset with Paul because of his drinking, and he already almost killed him in a vehicle accident before when he was intoxicated. So they're just known to run amok on the streets and the water. These Murdoch dicks. Noticed Paul's father visiting with other boaters and their family. He heard Alec Murdaugh tell the investigators that he did not want them questioning his son because he was drunk. Sorry, what?
I didn't say anything. I was being very quiet.
I'm like, I don't want people to be sick, but how do you get to make the rules? I don't understand. He knows that Alec Murdoch kept trying to get into Morgan's room. He noticed the patient's anxiety when Alec would try to enter. Imagine this. These are kids. These are not like, even as an adult, I'd have anxiety, but these are kids. He said Paul's girlfriend was going to break up with Paul. He noticed Alec going from room to room while other parents stayed with their children. The triage nurse said she saw The triage nurse said she saw Alec trying to get into other patients' room, which you can't do that anyway. You should be aimlessly wandering amok. Hey, MK, thank you again. Holy crap. Thank you, guys. He just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, MK. Oh, God.
That's so nice. Sorry, I was grabbing my little keyboard. So we've got all their testimony things I was going to pull up, too, if we wanted to see them, like Miley's, the actual documents.
Yes. Sorry, I keep doing that, you guys. I'm literally trying to crack my upper back. It's like so stiff. Wolfie, you found your emoji. Yay! The other ones are coming, you guys. Just hang tight. I promise you. She said the conversation would stop when Alec walked in. Alec was on the phone saying, she's gone, baby, gone. And she thought Alex seemed to be trying to orchestrate everyone
it's so tacky.
Page. She felt Alec was cold and detached about the victim and the injured, trying to counsel everyone to get them on the same page. Paul's girlfriend's nurse. So this is Morgan's nurse. And forgive me, I'm sorry, you guys, for not reading chat. I will actually read, and I apologize. He noticed Paul's girlfriend's anxiety when Alec tried to enter the room, overheard Alec tell an officer that he didn't want his son making any statements. So they're all corroborating each other's statements. He said Paul was belligerent and cursing as soon as he came in and was assigned to sit outside Paul's room. This is another security officer. He heard Paul's grandfather say Paul was drunk as Cooter Brown. We saw Paul's father trying to enter. It's the same story. Now, as we go, okay, here we go. She said Paul asked, this is the ER tech. This is a woman nurse trying to. She said, y'all know where I'm going with this. She said Paul asked her if she would hold his penis and said her butt was nice. Right then, I would have ordered a proctologist for him. I'm not even kidding. I would have used all my abilities to order some kind of proctologist and had rubber gloves head to toe and bend over, you little fucktard. I would have. Nope. She said Paul was still wet from being thrown in the water. Hi, Holy. Welcome in. She saw Paul's father go into Connor Cook's room several times. She watched Alec walk over to Connor being taken to the CT scan. I mean, you guys get, I don't want to, it's the same story from every angle. All these different people saying the same thing, that Alec was orchestrating everything, that the grandfather was there overseeing Alec, basically, and the circumstances and telling Paul to keep his damn mouth shut. Paul's being belligerent, drunk, and trying to hit on nurses. Good luck with that. Looking from the outside, I'm sure nurses see all kinds of things, and I'm sure they have their fair share of drunk teenagers roll through. And I'm sure it's entertaining as hell when that happens. Like I said, I would have ordered a proctologist myself. I'd have been like, you need a, probably need that. What is that thing where you have to drink the nasty stuff before a lower GI? I would have ordered that too. Anyway, that was what happened at the hospital. And the bottom line is, during that time, the Murdochs are orchestrating this whole scene. It's a 3-ring circus, right? All these people are having their whole thing, and they are organizing. Do we have the membership for iPhones? Oh, thank you, Aussie. That's so sweet of you. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
What?
It's a mom thing. Yes, Net Detective.
I sent you the link.
Yes. All of that.
I sent you the video link.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Hold on one sec. Thank you so much for reminding me that I did that. And that Murdaugh Murders podcast, I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. And share my screen. I'm sorry, I got off on a tangent. I apologize. Yeah, as I tell my kids, keep your bits and pieces to yourself. No one needs to see that stuff. Bits and pieces to yourself. Jesus, why am I all of a sudden having such an issue? Chrome tab. Can you guys see this? LFT.
Yes, I can see it.
All
Sorry,
right.
I was getting the stuff up. And my computer I don't even know if I'm connected this second.
You are connected. We can hear you. Hold on.
Okay.
Trying to play this. This is the scene in Buford. I'll play this sound in 1 second. Sorry. I believe this is. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is Paul asking to use the sheriff's phone, right? He's calling his grandpa. Yep. Oh, for heaven's sake alive. I should have put this on Tia Dash where I have premium for you. I'm going to speed it ahead just a little bit because this is just him. This might not be the one I'm thinking of. This is just the police at the scene. I was looking for the one.
I think this is where Anthony's parents walk up and stuff because Anthony's still here.
I'm speeding ahead and I don't see Anthony. I don't think this is the right one. This is not the one. Sorry. Showed you the wrong one. Hey, Aussie True Crime, thank you so much. I appreciate you being a member. You've been one of our OGs, and that is amazing. Thank you so much. Paul calls mommy right away, but none of these kids needed out of the way. I know. Let me go to chat really quick while we try and figure out that video. Are you looking for that by any chance, LFT, or do you need me to do it?
I will in 1 second. Sorry, I was opening up that. I was trying to find. I've got Morgan's whole deposition, and I was trying to find the part where she amends her statement, because several of them wrote official statements after saying that when they were finally able to get away from the Murdaughs a bit, they were willing to come forward, and say what they really saw and thought.
Hooligan, thank you. You're absolutely right with that. I just got your message, and you're 100% right with that. I should have. I think our membership link doesn't say it's actually the membership link. I didn't add, this is our membership link. Please help, support our channel. I think it's just the link. So if you see just something with a link, that's our membership link, and I'm sorry that I don't have that labeled correctly. We're going to fix that immediately. Julian in charge. Thank you so much for pointing that out.
Corky, I can't remember. I want to say someone was, but what?
I didn't say anything.
Am I cutting out? Is that what you just said? Oh, no, I thought you said, "Oh, you're cutting out," and I was like, "Oh." No. I can't remember exactly who it was. I'll double check, but I do know that Connor's dad went to high school with Alec and, knew him growing up. And I mean, they were friends enough where their children are friends. And I thought what Connor's dad had to say was pretty eye-opening, because he realized that this guy was willing to let his friend's child take the fall. And especially when he tried to arrange him to work with Corey Fleming, and it's
yeah. So that's the whole thing too. And thank you for bringing that up, because that's brilliant. Again, orchestrating this whole scene, trying to keep things under control. That's what Alec does. So keep that in mind when we're talking about the murder scenes and everything. Alec is orchestrating everything for this boat accident. Corey Fleming. Hey, I work with Corey Fleming. Mm-hmm. On the side there, I got an attorney for you. I own a funeral home. I got an attorney. He's got all the bases covered, right? He's a one-man band over there. So I don't know. Sorry. Kaz Chick, thank you.
Yeah, I can share that. I can share some of. Do we want to share some of the deposition?
Anything you want? Yes, ma'am. Welcome, Kez. Thank you so much for your support. That actually means the world to me. That really does. It's been around actually since before we were even Decipher. Kez was with us.
Oh, yeah.
It's really special. Okay, I just have to tell you that my dog is 4-pound dog beating the door now. I'm going to show you. Okay, we're going to keep going. I'm just going to do this while you're looking. Hang on.
Let me see if I can figure this out.
Beating on the door this one. Beating on the door. Like, okay. It just, he knew I was live and he wanted to say hi to you guys. So there's the dash man. He's so naughty, baby. Nate calls you BB Burrito. Yeah. Say hi to the people if you're going to be rude. Why don't you go up and lay down? Deposition. Okay, so the other thing is we can do is, do you think Alec would have done this to his wife and son if his father would have been well? I do. I think Alec was spiraling out of control. I think that was one of the many things that was on his plate. Yes, I do. I think he's capable of horrible things. I really do. Hey, Seeker. Thanks for coming in. Shh, we're live. You can't talk. You're not loud. You gotta be quiet. I think what we'll do, because we need to make an effort to be on time for Ms. Lou as well, is we need to put some of this stuff in our group. Could you stop eating me alive? We need to put some of this stuff in our Facebook group so you guys can see it there. It'll be easier, acceptable. Stone cold sober. I'm drinking nothing but water today, but somehow I can't talk to save my life. So I apologize, you guys. We will put it in our Facebook group to make it accessible. Water. It's got a little, what's that stuff the squirty stuff you put in it? Can't even think. Whatever. The little flavor thingies. Let's see. Smurf water. Smurf water. It's like blueberry. But it's the only way I can drink water because I get so gross. Like, I can't. After a while, I can't drink water. Can you go lay down, please? Can you go lay down? Ironic that all he wanted to do was clear Paul's name, and he destroyed his own. Well, here's the thing. I don't think he wanted to clear Paul's name as much as he wanted to clear the Murdoch name. I don't really think it was Paul per se. I think it was Murdoch. Dick Murdoch trying to clear his own name. My opinion. You think he planned? No way. Yeah. That detective says he snapped.
Well, I think sometimes.
God, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. It's mine. Mine keeps messing up. I just want people to understand, and I really urge people to go back and look and follow this trail and study it, because when you start looking at the lawsuits and the depositions and the indictments being filed come as early as March 29th, 2019.
Uh-huh.
You need to go and look at who was involved, who's named, and you need to start there, and you need to follow that case. This has been going on since it was filed March 29th, 2019. I can tell y'all that it began then, and they've had hearings about all this. I mean, we all know what's happened, but you need to understand that, like, when in 2021, I guess, what was it, September in 2021, when the court ruled in the what was the insurance company, they ruled in the insurance's favor that the Murdaughs didn't have the insurance is not responsible for this. Murdoch,
they didn't have insurance, and that's another thing that people need to understand. They had insurance on the boat, but he tried to commit insurance fraud there too. And that's an important note that needs to be addressed. First of all, he had $500,000 worth of insurance on the boat, which the insurance company was ready to honor. Stop! Goodness. Except that he had it under an LLC that was like a hunting, it was a weird hunting license LLC.
It's for the boat. We've got it in here.
It was not
a charter like a
hunting charter, but it wasn't covered for water. Watercraft was not covered in this hunting license thing in this LLC.
So that means if people want to know about the financials related to this, so just remember these civil cases and civil suits and all this stuff has been going on since March of 2019. And some people were dropped.
Storm, listen.
And not only that puts extra millions on top of, that makes them liable for millions. Because insurance wouldn't be, insurance is not responsible. And so we do know that as of, I want to say it was probably January of 2022. Now keep these numbers in mind if y'all want to know why the numbers apply to the boat case. Because
hold on, LFT, let me cover this. Commercial use was covered. It wasn't commercial use, number one, and there was no watercraft insurance. Watercraft insurance was not in that insurance. That's important to know. They were going to lose their ass on this. And Mark Tinsley was going to ensure that they lost their ass.
In the Beach family was able to file $50 million in claims against the estates of Paul and Maggie. That was that. So say now Paul and Maggie have also passed away now, but their estates, this is the money that's involved. I'm throwing out the numbers. We can break this down much better for y'all. I just want to close it out before Jen Lou's live, but I get frustrated with myself, and I get frustrated when it's like, it's all there. We just need to walk through it, because we already have, let's see here, the Daltrey, Morgan and Miley both have, they've got $10 million and $5 claims coming to them from the estates alone. That's $15 million right there. These were big numbers, and it was a big issue. And he's also in trouble for the manipulation and the, scam that he was about to pull on the Cook family. Mm-hmm. These are big numbers. This stuff is not going away. $530,000 of the sale of Moselle is what Buster is entitled to at this point. $530,000. They have broken this stuff down by dollar, and it's really important. And that's why. And if he's running scams and stealing from clients and paying, robbing from Peter to pay Paul, all this was going to be done on June 10th. He was going to have to reveal the records, because all these claims are coming against him. Obviously the ones in 2022 have evolved since then, but you know what I'm saying. There was a lot on the line, and he couldn't show legitimate proof. That's what Jeannie said. He couldn't do it. And if we take maybe time, that's why the hospital footage, if we do the watch party one night and really see how they interact and the behavior of the Murdaughs, and as well as how they treat, their friend, their friends and loved ones. These men are people that Alec went to high school with, and their two children their two boys are on the boat with his child. And there's no, we'll take care of you. And he set him up. And they have the resources to do things. And never once was it like, we got to find her. We got to start. Here's a tip line. I'm looking for any tips as to who killed my son and wife. This is ridiculous. But it's a lot of money at stake. It is a lot of money at stake. A lot of headache.
I don't think it lived in a budget either. I think the family was paying for, yes, the family was paying for Paul's defense. Also, it was a good old boys club down there. So I think we'll just You know what I'm saying there. Start praying. Now that Cretan can put it all together. I hope so. I hope so because there's been a lot of like spaghetti thrown at the wall to see if it sticks. Mm-hmm. And their circumstantial cases do get prosecuted. There's a lot of circumstantial evidence here. There's a lot of, like I said earlier on, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how the defense spins this. I really want to see. It's going to be interesting to me. But we are going to absolutely continue the Mallory Beach conversation because I don't want to shut up about her. Mm-hmm. I don't want to shut up about Stephen Smith. I don't want to shut up about Gloria Satterfield, and I certainly don't want to do it with Mallory. I know other creators are doing dives on this, and like I said, Jen Liu did an amazing live on Stephen Smith, and I learned so much on that. And that poor kid, what happened to him? He did not deserve. None of these people. If you just knew a Murdoch, you were in trouble. And I hate that. I freaking hate that. So many lives destroyed just because you knew these people. And what was the line that it was Connor Cook's dad's, no, not Connor, Anthony Cook's mom said about,
oh gosh, respect them and know them, but remember, like, you're friends with them. Hold on. Actually, I've got that right here because I was listening to it 2 minutes ago. 1 second.
Thank you, Holy cow. Girl, thank you.
Girl.
Thank you so much.
All right, let me see. Here it is. I have it playing right now on the HBO app. 1 second. Let me see what she's saying. Boom. Anthony Cook is so freaking just homegrown. Okay.
Oh, thanks, Punksy. Thank you.
Morgan Gordy and her boyfriend.
Hold on.
Very South Carolina.
The moral of the story is she said, you can be friends with them, you can respect them, but if you get in trouble, know that they are going to blame it on you. You are not going to be the one in trouble. I mean, they are not going to be the ones in trouble. You are going to be the one in trouble. So know that if you're hanging out with them.
And the Connor's Cook's family kind of just resolved themselves to their fate because they were having trouble getting an attorney. I mean, no one would touch them, and they just knew that no one wanted to take on the Murdochs, and they just see him be like, we're just gonna have to eat this. Like, we may know it's not true, and here it is. I think Tia's
That's exactly what I said, Jen Liu. Anthony Cook is the kind of guy you want your daughter to date. Mm-hmm. It's exactly the words I used. And I agree. His parents were class acts. He was a class act. Paul came up to him and apologized. Don't play it on. Don't play it.
Oh, that's the preview. It's on YouTube. It's a trailer. But I think she says it in the trailer.
Wait. I married a guy who had a bar. A bar mitzvah and invested with 50 plus years ago. True story. Look, the whole sounded him, but they never talked. Wow, Emily, look at that. We cut each other off all the time. That's so funny. I try so hard not to cut her off, and she tries. And you know what? The first thing we do when we get off is like, we always call each other and we're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for cutting you off. I cut you off so many times. So that you just said that and 5, 6, 7, 8, thank you. That was because it's one of the things we're super cognizant about. We're like, oh my God, I'm sorry.
Tia.
You see that, Love T? Do you see that comment?
What? Where?
On the screen.
Oh. Are y'all really saying we haven't cut each other off? Because I feel like we've been doing it all night.
I know. I think it's I love that.
Tia, why don't we end with HBO Max on their YouTube channel, they have the trailer for
Low Country.
Yes, and it's got the boat, like the speed of the boat going. Maybe we could end on that because we have so much things. Obviously, I'm having some tech issues and trying to get that straight, but we want to really talk more about this, but definitely want to go to, please check Jen Lou. Actually, Kate might be going live as well later. I cannot remember. Go back to Alex, everyone. But I just want to make sure that we regroup and address this further because I want to have it set up better where I'm able to be more consistent and to help y'all see what we actually have.
Oh, yeah. See, there we go. Today was kind of wacky. I mean, we had to move our live forward a little bit because I didn't want to cross over. And
do I send it to you?
Thank you.
Do I send it to you in Messenger?
Yeah, that would be totally awesome. Yeah. Kate's going live at 9:30, Jen Lou's at 9, and we wanted to move ours up. So everything and anything that could go wrong in that time span where I was supposed to be getting things done, I literally sent LFT a message saying something went wrong on my computer. I couldn't even log into, hold on one sec.
And then anytime I open another tab, I don't hear anything for a few minutes and the screen stutters. So I was just.
It's coming up. Give me one sec.
I said today started off our favorite quote. It was just like a golden retriever on a freshly waxed floor.
Oh, Lord. So true. Hold on one second. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to share. And of course.
Oh, no. We're wanting to work with. No, we want to go in line with the whole train. And we won't. We're not jumbled. Today, the jumble comes solely. It comes naturally for.
Yeah, no, we bumble up our way around the whole world here.
Yes, it's
Jen Lou just experienced part of it. God bless her. Put this up so you guys can hear this, and I'm going to mute. But this is the preview for Low Country on HBO Max, and if you can go watch it, it's great. And then we'll come back and say goodbye and thank you to everybody. But here's your preview, and you can kind of see some of the things we're talking about.
Standing now on all ways to emergency. I need to go into the ambulance immediately.
Can anyone hear anything, or is it just me who can't? I can't hear anything, Tia. Oh, I don't even know if Tia's on here. Did she just fall off?
I am on here. I guys couldn't. Okay, thank you. Let me try and see if this. Let me do it again. Can you hear what was going
in?
It's a bit shocking, but I'll do it once. Come on.
Yeah.
Alex, he zeroed in on minorities and poor people.
And that brings me back to I felt like Blanca aside part of it. Sorry, I thought Anthony's mom, her quote was in that.
No, it's okay. More coverage, in my opinion. We need to, as creators and we're so lucky, and this is one of the conversations that Jen Lou helped me realize today, that this community is really a gift in the sense that we have some really, really intelligent women who work on true crime and study true crime. And we think we're a part of that. Just use your belt didn't work. I'm sorry about that. But there's some really great people who have done some deep dives on Stephen, Mallory, and Gloria. And I think that they deserve a little bit more coverage than Alec. And I know Alec's a big deal right now. But know this, this goes back to my Chris Watts days where I say, he wanted that attention. He lives for that attention. Loves that shit. Keep writing them letters, you psycho bitches who are in love with Chris Watts. Keep writing him because he loves it. And I think Alec Murdoch is the same damn way. I think he just loves the attention.
But he didn't have the spine. He loves what he was doing, but he doesn't have the spine to suffer the consequences of what he's done.
Or the smarts, because his dad wasn't there to help him. He didn't have the smarts. Hey, really quick, you guys, Knee Music Melts. Check it out. The link's there. You get 20% off if you use Display for Rocks. I just placed another order with Knee because, I was running out of my someday. And I ordered, that might be the only thing I ordered this time because that's my favorite and my whole house smells like it. But I have like several many and they're all great. Nothing pissed me off more than the interview with Alex's brothers saying they're just a regular family. Corky gets $1 for this remark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why the locals see them as being powerful. What a slap in the face, assholes. I agree. So much of that I agree with. Hubby's mailing it out tomorrow. Oh, Nadine, take your time. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. I just placed the order. So does anyone have any questions really quick? We have about maybe 5 minutes if you have any questions or any suggestions you'd like us to talk about. Obviously, we're going to nail in this more of the Mallory Beach stuff, the hospital stuff. And I'm sorry that we couldn't show the video.
But we can host a rave watch party.
We can host a rave watch party. And what's cool is we have the other thing we can put in our group is we have all the coordinates of the boat. So you can see if you're techie and you want to look into that stuff. We have all the coordinates of the boat that night. We have our timesheet, which you can check that out. Our timesheet. I don't even know what to say anymore. I can't speak today.
Thank you, Hooligan.
Yeah.
Well, Hooligan does great lives too. She's everywhere. She's
actually
amazing.
I'm going to need a Hooligan live soon because they're so fun. They're so much fun. And
she's got great insight on some cases that haven't gotten much attention and she's just a gem. So make sure to go sub to her as well.
Honest to God, I have never laughed harder than I've laughed with Jen the Hooligan hosting a show. That's the God's honest truth. I woke my husband up laughing one night hysterically. She's so fun. She's so funny. And she's fun and sweet. So make sure that we have her link we need to subscribe to her as well. Kate's going live at 9:30. Jen Lou's at 9. Let us know in the comments if you have questions, suggestions, comments. Question: How do you get out of the Low Country alive? Don't befriend a Murdoch. That'd be my first piece of advice.
Keep driving further south to further north.
Yeah, go anywhere but there.
Keep following the magnolias and weeping willows. Just follow them in either direction.
Yeah. Criminality, another one. They're doing amazing work over there. And each one of those ladies does a different aspect of the case that they work on. So it's really cool. I love that. So please, yes, go over to Teresa, Christine G, and Michelle. Sorry, I just got a text. And we will continue our Mallory boat discussion. Probably, I would think this week. We're just going to keep rolling with it until we decide what night works for everyone as far as a watch party. To be able to watch that video and
Thank you.
about,
Okay.
and talk about Allie.
Well, and then I might in a minute. I'm sitting here. I was just sitting here with a piece of paper. I'm having like trouble seeing and stuff, so I might be double writing this. But I may just do like a quick community post. It's gonna be handwritten to throw out some numbers involved with the finances relating to this, to give you an idea of like all of it's important.
MK, thanks for being here with us. We really appreciate you. And thanks for taking the wrench. You can throw it back if you're not comfortable. We just like having you around. You're amazing. There's no obligation here. We just love it. Thank you so much, Karen Canada. I love that. Canada. I love that. I love that. Being from Michigan, I love my Canucks. I love my Canadians. I hope you guys have a great night, and thanks for bearing with us tonight. And whatever is wrong with my mouth, my head, I apologize. I will get my shit together. I will get to a tall table and get my shit together at some point. But until then, go watch Jen, Kate, and everybody. And tomorrow, we're all going to be watching the defense try and defend this asshole. See what they have. You never know. See if they can pull a rabbit out of their ass. Thank you guys for tuning in and being with us. Check out our Facebook group. Hit the like button on your way out. Thank you so much to our mods. You guys are our friends. We truly adore you and honor you. And thank you so much for running the show, because that's really what happens. We're just here. They totally have it behind the scenes and everything on it. Keep us straight. If you'd like to support the channel, we're really honored. You guys are a gift just to us that you watch us and you comment. Like I said, thanks again for putting up with my lack of speech tonight. We'll work on that. Have a great night, you guys, and enjoy your evening. Be safe. LFT, say goodbye.
Thank y'all so much. See y'all in a little bit.